On the other side, Chicago has struggled offensively last year at this time, second in points scored, right now second fewest.
And Chicago's offense has struggled also in their passing game. They have to keep Curtis Conway and Michael Timpson, their receivers, healthy and on the field today. However, their focus is going to be the run game. They have all three of their running backs healthy for the first time this season. They'll be behind a big physical offensive line that thinks they can dominate the Detroit front seven.
Jason Hansen gets us started, and it will be Bobby Ingram from the goal line. Across the 30, and he is finally upended at the 33-yard line by Ron Rivers. So the Bears go to work following the 34-yard return. Dave Craig, 3-0 lifetime against the Lions. He also led Detroit to the 1994 playoffs in his only season with the Lions. The men protecting Craig: Tony Carter, Raymond Harris in the backfield, joined by Timpson and Conway, and the tight end is the rookie Bobby Neely. Carter in motion on first down. Craig to the air, pump fakes, and then he finds the receiver Timpson downfield. Michael Timpson on first down with a 49-yard reception.
The criticism of Dave Craig all season has been his inability to go to the deep ball. So how do you do it? You start right out of the beginning, go right to Michael Timpson right away. He puts a move on McNeil and leaves him with his socks down. And then Craig delivers that long pass right where he has to deliver it. That's a beautiful way for the Bears to open up their offense on the first play of the game.
And the Lions victory over Seattle. Raymond Harris lost yardage on first down. Craig to the air, end zone, touchdown, Curtis Conway.
Outstanding play call by Ron Turner. If the defense is going to pressure you up front and you're going to see the blitz coming at Dave Craig, then go deep to the pass, because these defensive backs for Detroit cannot keep up with Curtis Conway and Michael Timpson. We saw it on the first play of the game. We see it now on this touchdown pass.
Now the Lions offense goes to work, play action, and Herman Moore makes the catch. The NFL's leading receiver, Donnell Wolford, makes the tackle. Mitchell on the delayed handoff. It's Sanders up the middle, another first down. So 2 plays, 2 first downs for the Lions. Bears defensive unit, the front four: Spellman with 5 sacks the last 5 weeks, Simpson, Flanagan, and Fontenot. Bears will play a nickel defense against Detroit's 3 wide receivers, Kane and Minter, the linebackers. Burton with Carrier, Carter, Mangum, and Donnell Wolford. Walt Harris not starting, suffering from turf toe, but he will play. Craig to Timpson. Corey Raymond wraps up Michael Timpson after his second reception of this first quarter. 3rd down and 2. Mitchell over the middle, and the pass is caught by the tight end Metzelaars. 2nd and goal on the 1-yard line. Mitchell on the sneak. Still no signal. Yes, he is in for the touchdown.
That is the best executed kick return I've ever seen, because not only is it a trick play, and Ingram has to make this throw, and Marshall has to make the catch. Watch the blocks. There are blocks all the way along the field, because Marshall does not have outstanding speed, but there are blocks everywhere. And then he makes a nice cutback, and now watch again. Ingram, the guy who threw the pass, he's out front, throwing a block, springing Marshall for even more. Look at Marshall run out of steam. But that's what you do when you're in a situation. It's a tie score, you're at home, and you're desperate to stay in the playoff hunt. You pull out all the tricks.
And Craig's pass is complete. Tony Carter spins down to the 1. Following the 88-yard return, 13 by Ingram, and then 75 after the lateral.
And what a fullback-like play. The toss right out here in the flat to Carter, but watch his leg. This is what a fullback does. This is what a fullback gives you. He breaks that first tackle, and then he lowers his head and gets it almost into the end zone. Tony Carter has come on. He has made as much improvement as any player on the Chicago Bears defense this year.
Jim Flanagan, the defensive lineman at fullback. Craig to Carter, touchdown. Check that, it's Mike Fulkerson. His first reception of the season. So with Flanagan, the defensive lineman lined up at fullback.
That they follow it up with another nice offensive score.
Barry Sanders across the 40. Take it out of bounds on the 47-yard line. Marty Carter on the stop, 13 yards.
In the game of football right now, he used to give me nightmares as a defender.
Here's the end around. Johnny Morton takes the handoff, and he is hit for a loss. Jim Flanagan makes the stop, a loss of 4 yards on the handoff to the wide receiver, Morton.
But Kenny, it's Al Fontenot who makes this play work, the left defensive end for the Chicago Bears. Watch the penetration he gets on Zephros Moss. I mean, he's working on a big guy. He blows up the blocker, and when he drives Morton deep, it takes away the corner and allows Flanagan, who's always hustling. Flanagan really is a Zorich-type player in that he never stops. So nice line play up front by the Bears. Dave Wannstedt believes that his defense will hold up and that Detroit can't work them, chip them away down the field.
Sanders on a change of direction. Sanders into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. The Redskins and the Cowboys in Irving, Texas. Raymond Harris takes the handoff for the Bears.
And what a great game to have on a Thanksgiving day.
One to Curtis Conway, the other Mike Fulkerson. Craig to the air, and the catch is made on first down by Michael Timpson.
And the big yardage total by Barry Sanders.
Raymond Harris to the outside has another Bears first down at midfield, and right now
you start to lose that as the weather continues.
Third down and 2. Harris has the first down across the 40 down to the 38. 3 minutes in second quarter. Time at 14. Craig swings it out. Raymond Harris, first down and more inside the Lions 20. Third down and 6. Quick drop, quick slant. Timpson, first down.
Wow. That takes guts by Michael Timpson, because he knew it was coming. Don't think he didn't see what happened to Curtis Conway.
Craig on third and goal. Under pressure, fires, touchdown.
Dave Craig right now is as elusive as he's ever been, which is unbelievable considering his age. He's been spinning out of the pocket all day, elusive inside the pocket. Watch here. Watch the safety blitz. It's Benny Blades right there. Raymond Harris gets a nice shot. But look at the spin. I mean, Craig spins full around, and then he finds the receiver in the end zone. He finds Ingram. It's all Dave Craig. That's a Steve Young type maneuver that you don't normally expect from Dave Craig. He's playing one big football game today. He's finally comfortable with this one here. How do you know it? He spins out of this play, so he's disoriented, but look how quickly he finds his receiver. He knows where his receiver is going to be because he now knows the Chicago Bears offense from head to tail.
And now the Detroit Lions offense back to work. 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line. Johnny Morton in motion. And Mitchell's pass complete. The tight end, Pete Metzeleyes.
And that is so frustrating for a defensive lineman, as you saw Alonzo Spellman on that last play. To break through, I mean, he broke through the blocking. You couldn't do it any nicer. He got upfield on top of the runner. You couldn't do it any better. But it's Barry Sanders. It's Barry Sanders, and even though you do everything right, he can make you do things wrong.
How many things did he make you do wrong during games against Atlanta?
Unlimited. I hate to recall them.
Mitchell on 2nd and 9. It's Perriman once again. Lions gain 16 yards on the Bears' 7th penalty. All on the defense. Quick slant to Metzeleyes. Nice move, cutting away from Marty Carter. And it forces the Lions back 15 yards. Mitchell, pump fake, looking for more, but instead he finds Wolford. 30th career interception for Donnell Wolford, who picked Mitchell off earlier, but it was called back due to a penalty. This time, it will stand.
Donnell Wolford had problems in the red zone on the other series. He's got a tough job. He's locked on to Herman Moore. And again, you see how deep he's staying. But when Mitchell puts this ball up, he puts it up way too far beyond Herman Moore. One of the guys said, Scott, if you throw me the ball, I'm going to get you some nice fishing gear. And he said that was the most tempting offer of all.
And Mitchell is picked off. I wonder what Marty Carter bribed Mitchell with.
Must have been fishing gear and a bass boat. The whole thing. But that was an outstanding catch by Marty Carter. As a quarterback, when you have the kind of zip that you have on the football, as Scott Mitchell does, you look out there, you see 23, you say strong safety, I can just zip this baby right over his head. It's wet, it's cold, he sees it, he sees his receiver, and he feels like he can just zip it, and it's just a perfectly timed leap by Marty Carter. And the other thing he knows about Carter, Mitchell knows that Carter has got to cover Barry Sanders. And there you see Sanders get into a scuffle with Carter.
3rd interception this season for the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer in his 2nd year with the Bears. Led the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, except in Chicago. Craig swings it out. Raymond Harris, 1st down and more.
This is nice play selection by the Chicago Bears because, as we've talked about, it's getting wetter, it's getting slicker.
13 yards on the play. 1st down on the 49. Play action. Craig over the top, wide open. Curtis Conway. Inside the Lions 30.
They really have set it up beautifully, and you have to credit Conway because don't forget, he still has that Van Malone hit rattling around in the back of his mind. And there, Dave Craig, you see, again, he knows where his receivers are. He knows this offense. This is the first time this season. Ron Turner told us yesterday. They got the steam going down there on the sideline, Kenny. You see the Bears' defensive line. They got the sweat. They got the steam. They got their helmets off. Don't care about the rain or the wet or the cold.
Their only victory outside of Dome came in Tampa Bay. 2nd and 10. Raymond Harris fights his way across the 25-yard line. Reggie Brown made the stop.
With the Minnesota Vikings and when he was teamed up with John Randall, but Henry Thomas is a guy who still can play.
42-yard field goal attempt. Jeff Jager. It is good. Jager now 16 of 20. Flynn Milburn to the outside across the 30. Finally knocked out.
What a hit by Sauerbrunn.
The kicker.
I mean, that's going to earn him some points in the locker room.
And of course he does it.
Nice
does it on the Bears sideline.
Yeah, watch him get underneath. Watch him get his pad underneath. Gets his shoulder up, lifts, follows through with his weight. What an outstanding tackle.
2nd down and 2. 4 wide receivers. Herman Moore back in following the injury. And Mitchell to Perriman with the lateral.
Zephyrus Moss has got the ball.
Another one. Two laterals.
That's
Ray
a forward
Roberts.
lateral.
Ray Roberts to Johnny Morton.
Hey, you got to try anything.
It went Mitchell, Perriman, Roberts, Morton if you're scoring at home.
But I think he heaves it to the wrong guy. I think this is just improvisation. And then Ray Roberts comes down with it. Look, he doesn't know what to do with it. He just throws that baby out there. He sees Johnny Morton. And he's so unused to touching the football that he doesn't realize you can't throw the thing forward. As the leader in the score.
Barry Sanders to the right side, wrapped up by Jim Flanagan.
Yeah, Flanagan just dominates Jeff Hardings on that play there. And we talked about Flanagan all game, about his hustle, about his intensity. He's rushing the passer very well. And there you just see flat dominance on the run game.
Jim Flanagan, who we saw line up in the backfield. He scored a touchdown against the Lions earlier this season, back in week 4. The 4th of his career. Mitchell with time, with room. Johnny Morton makes the catch for the first down before he was upended by Marlon Forbes. Johnny Morton wide open.
Well, Kenny, we talked about the penetration that the Bears wanted to get, forcing Barry Sanders, and it's Joe Kane, 59, right up there in the center. He's the guy who takes away this half of the field for Barry Sanders. He forces Sanders to break immediately to his right, and Marty Carter does his job. He's sitting there waiting for it.
On third down to the far side, wide open, Herman Moore. So the Lions look to exploit the Bears secondary. Walt Harris has not yet played with the turf toe, and Mark Carrier out for the game, injured in the first half.
It took a long time for that pass to get there. Marshall was way too far off.
Sanders on first down once again. It is Marty Carter meeting Barry Sanders.
It's the dilemma Barry Sanders gives every defense.
Mitchell on second down is taken down.
What a play by Barry Minter. What a play. Oh, that's beautiful. He didn't even know who had the football. He went from one guy to another. Watch Minter come up through, and he tackles Barry Sanders. He thinks it's a draw play. He's coming through. He doesn't know. He gets Sanders. Then he says, oh, Sanders doesn't have it. Mitchell must have it. I'll go from one guy to another. That's just relentlessness. I mean, you can't put a price on relentlessness for a middle linebacker.
Well.
And reindeer. I think that was a reindeer.
I've never seen a reindeer sky.
You just saw your first one. That's what those red horns were all about. Andy Heck, of course, is happy that the Bears are winning this game. He's also happy that recently his wife gave birth to triplets. But he said, with 2 girls, I'll have a couple of weddings and a bunch of college education to pay for. And he's going to have to keep playing until he says he gets a letter of rejection from every team in the NFL just to pay for the kids' college and those 2 weddings. Of course, 2 of the triplets were girls and 1 was a boy.
Raymond Harris up the middle, across midfield. Benny Blades finally takes him down after the 23-yard gain by Raymond Harris.
You know what you got to see on that play? You got to see the dual capacity of Raymond Harris. Of course, he used to be a fullback, and he thinks he's a tailback, a halfback, and he is, because you get to see him do both on this play. He makes the cut of a halfback, and then he gets out into traffic, and he lowers his shoulder and breaks a tackle like a fullback. With the stiff arm, the churning legs, he keeps going, so he gets to use the talents that he has.
A bit of Harris, Salam, Robert Green, but it has been all Raymond Harris.
Well, and he's running hard, and then when you have a play like that to start things off for you in this second half, you know Dave Wanstead will just keep going with Raymond Harris.
Getting back to Andy Heck, whose wife Jennifer gave birth to the triplets on Wednesday, he said they'll give every offensive lineman 3 cigars. Everybody else gets only 1.
Well, those guys got to stick together.
Screen pass.
You ought to give Dave Craig a cigar, too, the way he's played. But speaking of playing hard, the guy who made the tackle on that play, way out at the perimeter, was Henry Thomas.
4th and 2 from the 30. Play action, first down, Curtis Conway. And Conway shaken up. Made the catch, but is injured on the play.
On the return that almost went for a touchdown. Now you're in a short yardage situation. What do? It's wet, it's cold. You go up to the air and you find your receiver, Curtis Conway. There you see that he did the split, which suggests that he pulled a groin.
1st and 10 for the Bears on the Lions' 24-yard line. Craig over the middle to the tight end, Bobby Neely. His first reception, free agent out of the University of Virginia, and Neely signaling the first down.
What a wonderful story, and a wonderful guy Bobby Neely is. Not really a practice squad player, so of course I had to put a book together on him, Kenny. And he learned perseverance from his father, who started out and ended up as a major in the police force in Atlanta. He interned at the Smithsonian University. He's an art history major. The last time he scored a touchdown was in high school. So not a heavily recruited player.
Raymond Harris inside the 5. And Neely told us when he was born, his father was a bus driver and worked his way up to a major in the police force down in Atlanta.
And he said that the perseverance, the lessons of perseverance that he learned from his dad, who started as a driver, ended up as a major in the police force, is what kept him going this season when he was undrafted, when he got into camp and struggled, and then he was on the practice squad, which is the most thankless job in the National Football League, and he's persevered through it, and now he finds himself catching passes in the red zone for the Bears.
On 2nd and 2, Raymond Harris pulls his way in for the touchdown.
That's the beauty of Raymond Harris. That's the dual powers of a guy who can run like a fullback, but hit the line of scrimmage like a fullback, run like a halfback, hit like a fullback. He runs right through the big linebacker, Pepper Johnson. Come around the front. So you got the pads, but he also has that neoprene sleeve around his midsection to keep those muscles warm.
Mitchell fires to the far side, and Herman Moore gathers it in for the Lions' first down.
This lead today are still alive in the playoff hunt.
Herman Moore again. His 5th catch of the afternoon. 17 carries, 79 yards. He has gone over the 1,000-yard mark for the season. Back in the first half. Mitchell in trouble. Gets away, but lost the football. So the Lions force back. It will be 3rd down and long.
That's what a slick ball will do to you. A slick ball and pressure up the middle from Carl Simpson. He's the guy who gets there first. Spellman's there. It's Simpson who gets his hands wrapped around him. And actually, it's Spellman who forces him to lose that football. And then Spellman is not the guy on top of Mitchell, so Spellman doesn't get the sack. And that's why he was kind of throwing himself around after the play.
Mitchell on 3rd down and 27. Looking for more. It is picked off. Wolford tried to lateral to Marty Carter. 2nd interception of the day. 31st of Donnell Wolford's career.
And that's big for Wolford. Again, he's giving Moore the enormous cushion. He's not going to get beat deep. You see it? But now he sees this ball coming, and he breaks back to it. This is what makes Donnell Wolford one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League.
Raymond Harris, 79 yards. He's hit the 100 mark twice over the last 3 weeks. Swing pass. Cap Jackson, second-year man out of the University of Florida, his 3rd reception of the season, all against the Lions.
You know, the Bears' offense and their special teams today, their execution has been absolutely outstanding. Even with the trick plays, everything is precise, and it all starts with Dave Craig.
Harris, first down to the 40.
Kenny, the Bears are just pounding the Lions now at the point of attack. You see Raymond Harris gets up a little slow, which you'd expect after carrying the ball as many times as he has.
3rd down and 8. Michael Simpson makes the catch. Looks to be just shy of the first down. Corey Raymond forced it.
Well, he did, Kenny, and he did it by putting his helmet right on the football, almost making it impossible for Raymond Harris to hang on to it. And there you see the ball popping out right there before Harris is down on the ground. And this guy has really had an outstanding year. Finally, the pressure is off him, a first-round draft choice as a young player coming out of Ohio State.
From their own 46-yard line. Tony Connor in motion. Wow, what a hit by Mike Wells. Stopping Salam in his tracks.
Make hits like that when you're a punter. You can have a bad kick, you can wear 2 earrings, you can do all sorts of things.
What a catch by Perriman. Brett Perriman with the first down as the Lions drive downfield with just over 10 minutes remaining.
I'll show you later.
On the draw, Barry Sanders to the outside across the 100-yard mark. Mitchell, pump fakes, taken down by Jim Flanagan.
Flanagan gets him, but he's not going to get the sack. Oh, that's going to hurt him. That's going to hurt him because Mitchell does get back across the line of scrimmage. Here's Flanagan here. He's working against Hardings, the guard, comes back around. It's the relentless deal. But Mitchell does get past the line of scrimmage, so it's not a sack. 4th down. Of course, they're going to go for it.
Mitchell on 4th down is taken down. John Mangum up from strong safety to make the sack.
This is not only an exciting call by calling the blitz, sending Mangum. There's Flanagan with the push, but it's great coverage because look at Mitchell. He's got nowhere to throw the ball, and he's got Bears defenders all around him. A quarterback with grass stains all over his jersey, grass on his helmet. Quarterback you know that you've put to the ground.
And the Bears back to work. Raymond Harris.
These guys are going to love him now. Here it is again. The snap is right down there in the grass. So it's wet, it's slick. He pulls the ball down, makes a nice decision, and then he lunges forward to get the first down. And he really does. He twists and turns in the same way that you see Raymond Harris twisting and turning in this second half.
So Sauerbrunn gains 3 yards, only 2 fewer than his last punt. As the Bears continue to chew the clock, down to 6 minutes remaining.
He's up there, and if Dave Craig does what he's done today, they could win that game.
And it should be a very emotional return up to Wisconsin for Dave Craig. Grew up a Packers fan. He told us that he wanted to be a football player since the age of 5 when he lived up in Wisconsin. And next week it will be the Bears and the Packers here on Fox up against the New York Giants. Second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, except here in Chicago. On 3rd down, Curtis Conway makes the catch for a first down as the Bears down to 3:15 away from their 5th victory of the season.
It's really all working for the Bears. But look at the rain, look at the weather. But still on a 3rd and short situation, Dave Craig he's playing so well that they just go to the air. And you see 18 for 28 in this kind of weather is amazing. 219 yards, and then of course this one right here, the big difference in this ball game.
Rashaan Salam, the Heisman Trophy winner 2 years ago, did not see the field over the first 3 quarters.
And then he looks incredulous that they called him. I mean, you're always going to get the penalty. I mean, if you don't let go of the guy's helmet, you're always going to get it. I mean, talk about it. Look at how wide-eyed he is. a far cry. You would never imagine that he's the same guy who does this great work off the field with young kids. But no, that's really what football is all about in the National Football League. It's about being able to have the capacity to be a mean, crazy, relentless guy on defense 1 minute, and then Tuesday go spend your off day with 23 kids that you're going to put through college.
Similar to yourself during your career. Wild and crazy on the field. Intellectual, author, off the field.
Yeah, but I mean, I never did what Spellman did. I mean, you have to really give him tremendous amount of credit for that kind of work and that kind of personal commitment.
As former Lion Dave Craig throws 3 first-half touchdown passes, starting with the opening drive when he hit Curtis Conway from 19 yards out on the 3rd play of the game. Craig and the Bears defeat Scott Mitchell's Lions by the score of 31-14.
Field. Wayne bundled up. First play of the game. Dave Craig, who used to play for Wayne a couple years ago when they made such a great run, to Michael Timpson. Nice coverage. 49-yard. That sets up 2nd and 12 from the 19. Craig avoids the blitz. And Curtis Conway is wide open. 3 plays, 66 yards, touchdown Chicago.
Yeah, we take a look here at those linebackers in that blitz package. Corey Raymond on the coverage. Curtis Conway gets behind him easily in the red zone. Nice throw by Craig. Nice catch by Conway.
Barry Sanders got his name into the NFL record books today. His 8th straight season with 1,000 yards rushing, breaking the old mark of 7 straight by Eric Dickerson. Thurman Thomas about 100 yards behind. He'll probably tie with 8. Now watch this. Bobby Ingram on the kickoff to Anthony Marshall, and Ingram isn't done. Marshall behind the wall, cuts through, and look at Ingram, who made the lateral, makes the block, and then they just ran out of gas after 88 yards. But that sets up 2nd and goal from the 1. Craig to Mike Fulkerson. It's only 3rd career reception, but it's a touchdown. 14-7 Bears. Sanders, watch this. Bounce, a block, and then a cut. Watch this. Right there at the 10. He's gone. 22 yards. Barry at 107 on the day. It's 14-all. 2nd quarter. Craig rolls out. And this time, Ingram doesn't have to dish it out. He catches it. 21-14 Bears. Craig in the first half, 12 of 18, 3 touchdowns. Scott Mitchell at the end of the 2nd quarter to Brett Perriman. No weekend lateral. So can they. Ray Roberts. What? What's this? Whoop! To Johnny Morton. I think that's slightly forward. Bears 1, Lions nothing in the lateral department. And the Bears lead 24-14 at the half. 2nd half, rain, sleet. Only the post office could deliver, along with Raymond Harris, 23 yards. Sets up. Down near the goal line. Harris, touchdown. He had 122 yards. Dave Wannstedt had the smile. The Bears had the win.